Week 4, and dude, do we have a lot to cover. We were just in Mexico. I've got some major tips to drop on you guys. I almost collapsed on heavy squats, and I just got out of the hospital. It's a solid episode, so without further ado, let's dive right into it. All right, let's get the official weigh-in here. Now, last episode was 2 weeks ago, and it was 200.8. This week, we are rocking 198.6. So we are moving at a really nice, consistent rate, baby. Let's go. All right, the weight has definitely moved in the right direction, so now let's compare some side-by-side footage from this week versus the last episode 2 weeks ago. What I've noticed is that you can see a pretty obvious change in the first 2 weeks, somewhat because of losing that water weight, but then it feels like the visible changes are a bit less apparent for the next few weeks. So in real life, I can definitely notice the subtle changes, shoulder definition and separation in my arms, but in these two side-by-side shots, it's a little harder to point out. For example, when you take these two back double biceps shots and put them right next to each other, they look almost identical. But we know for sure that progress has been made these last 2 weeks because we've lost another 2.2 pounds. I could definitely drop the calories and lose the weight faster so I could see the visible changes faster, but I'd also be sacrificing muscle to do that. So keep in mind that your progress may not really feel obvious all the time. It might not feel as rewarding every week, but patience, consistency, and I think most importantly, confidence in your plan is really key to doing all this correctly. All right, I want to talk about recovery for a second. This is the Fire Deep Tissue Massage Gun. Now, you might have seen these before and wonder what they do. So when you're dieting, for me especially, your recovery is way slower, in part because you have less calories to use, so you end up being sore for longer. So I really like to use a massage gun because it really feels good, but also it helps to break up scar tissue and fascia lining. And the longer that you lift, the bigger that you get, the more that becomes important. Because when you have a lot of scar tissue or tight fascial lining, it decreases your mobility, but also it changes the way that your muscles look. They tend to look less three-dimensional. So using a massage gun can help break that up, but it also helps increase circulation, which helps you recover more quickly before the next training session. So this Fire massage gun is really light. It's actually about like 1.5 pounds, and it's a little bit more minimalist in design than other brands. So for me, I really like the way that it feels in the hand. It's easy to hold. The massage gun hits a depth of about 12.5 millimeters each percussion, so it goes pretty deep. And it also has 4 different heads for different muscle groups. I personally really like the large styrofoam kind of looking ball because it's a little bit more forgiving, like when I have Sammy using it on my back. So it turns on with a long press of about 3 seconds, and then you just tap the button for each of the 5 adjustable speeds. For me, I personally like it at the fastest speed that it goes. It just feels the best to me. So back in the first generation of these massage guns, the battery wasn't really great. They'd run out really, really fast, which was pretty annoying. But now they're actually pretty impressive. This one has a 2200 milliampere hour lithium battery, which allows you to use it for about 2 weeks without charging it. Also, it charges through a C-type USB cable. So basically, you have these cables everywhere. So you can basically just charge it anywhere, which is really nice. Also, it is really nice because you can hit just about any muscle on your own, especially the shoulders, the quads, the top of the glutes. But if you have a partner or friend who doesn't mind helping you out, it's pretty excellent. Like Sammy is not strong enough to give me a deep massage with her hands, but with the massage gun, she can get my back pretty freaking good. So it pretty much turns anybody into a proficient masseuse. Fire actually sponsored this video, which means I do have a discount for you that will get you 10% off. So if you want to check that out, I'll put the link and the discount code in the description below, and you guys can go grab one. So in week 1, I showed where my original lifts started to see if we'd be able to retain that strength throughout this cut. And in the first week, we did 365 pounds for 5 reps on box squats. This week, I was feeling a little saucy and I wanted to see if I could go a little bit heavier. So I put 385 pounds on the bar, and dude, I'm telling you, for a second, I thought I was literally going to die. On this second rep, I actually almost collapsed. So then I dropped down to 365 for 6 reps, and I think there's definitely a psychological barrier going on, because if I can get 6 reps with 365, I should be able to get a little bit more than 2 reps where I almost die for 385 pounds. Either way, still feeling nice and strong during this deficit. I'm really stoked about that. Now, deadlifts are something that I've been really enjoying too, and they're relatively new to my training. I don't do them that often. So 2 weeks ago, I hit 275 pounds for 13 reps, and it felt really great. So this week I went up to 315 pounds and I was able to hit it for 10 reps. So you usually won't be able to go up in lifts during a diet or a deficit, but dialing in your technique will allow you to move up even while dieting, and that's what happened here. Starting to lean out a little bit. All right, so right now I am really hungry, and this is, some of the days when you're cutting, you feel pretty good, and you're like, okay, that's the end of my calories, and I feel pretty full. But some of the days you're like, oh, every calorie I need to make count, and that's where I am tonight. So as you can see, in addition to me needing to charge my phone, I have 792 calories, and I feel like I could eat 2,000 calories. So if you remember my second episode, I showed you guys basically what I do in this situation: low calorie, high volume foods. So I just ate a big bowl of popcorn for 250 calories. Now I'm having a little bit of a salad, which I'm gonna throw a little bit of this this corn vegan chicken on there. And then I just have a whole plate of vegetables, which I'm gonna use soy sauce on. Probably just gonna snack on some pickles, and definitely gonna have just a ton of carrots. So I have it all tracked out so that by the end of eating all these snacks over the next hour or so, I'm going to have 350 calories, which means I can have oats with a scoop of protein, which is something that for me fills me up pretty good. And then I'm just gonna be drinking like a bunch of tea and we'll be set. But I just wanna make the point that, yeah, it is not always easy. This is one of those days when it's not easy, but you gotta figure out ways around it so that you don't overeat your calories and you stick to the plan. My last upload was a full day of eating video, and I shared a lot of tips about what to do on vacation, but I wanted to include a small segment in here too. So the week before last, we were in Tulum, Mexico for vacation, and vacation is where tons of people fall off and undo a bit of their progress. Here's a couple tips on how I live my best life, but still make progress while on vacation. So the first thing for me is always to find a gym nearby. I mean, even if that's just the hotel gym or just like an open park area where I can do body weight stuff, whatever it is, just figure it out as soon as possible. That way you don't have any excuses when it comes time to work out. So I'll hit a workout every morning, even if that's not 100% workout, even if it's just a quick 20 minutes of something with body weight. But during Tulum, we were able to hit the gym every single morning at this really nice place. Now with food, it's great if you can find a grocery store and stock up on super healthy whole foods, all that kind of stuff. But even if you're gonna go out and eat at restaurants every single time, guesstimate the calories and also assume that there's going to be a little bit more fat than you would make the meal with, and then just try to stay within your calorie range. If you can have fun by just drinking one night instead of all 4, then go for that. If you need to do it more often, that's fine, but just have a plan, and especially plan out foods to eat when you get back. That way you don't get stuck eating deep fried pizza nuggets or whatever. Ultimately, get right back on top of your schedule as soon as you get home. The faster you get back to your routine, the quicker everything falls back into place. Now, last week we talked about an acceptable amount of cheating in your form during a set of my curls. I had hit 60 pounds for 6 reps in that video. This week, I was doing the same curls, but I was doing it a little bit earlier in my workout, and I was actually able to squeak out 9 reps. Now, as you watch me doing these reps, you can see that I'm struggling really hard on the last couple of reps, and that is what is key. You really have to push to the absolute end of your gas tank so that you can preserve your strength and really muscle mass too. All right, here we go. Now, I am going to make a full video covering this soon, but I just got a vasectomy, which means no lifting for 2 weeks minimum. So the worst part of this whole thing, I don't think it was the procedure, I don't think it was the recovery pain. Nope, it is not being able to lift. that's true suffering, even more. So I made sure to make my last few workouts really count. I pushed like crazy, and then these next 2 weeks will be actually pretty beneficial because they'll be forced rest weeks, which I don't take often enough anyways. So what do you do with your calories when you're on a break like this, right? Well, anytime you're gonna stop lifting for more than 3 days straight, basically your recovery from the last workout is pretty much done by then. So I like to lower the calories by maybe 200 to 500 calories depending, just to make up for the fact that I'm not burning those calories during a workout, and I'm also not needing extra calories to repair my muscles. I will still be eating in a slight deficit though, so that I can continue losing body fat. And then when I get back to the gym, a beast will be unleashed. All right, now let's take a quick overview of how the progress has been in the last 4 weeks. Overall, I can see a lot of differences in the body, both in the side-by-sides, but as well as in real life. We went from a total of 203.4 to 198.6 pounds for a total of 4.8 pounds of weight change. This is a really nice pace if you factor in the water weight loss and the glycogen weight loss from eating less calories. Now, it may not be as big of a transformation as you've seen in the past, but like I said in the beginning of this series, I want to show you how to execute a dieting phase to lean up, but do it in the smartest way possible so as to preserve as much muscle mass as possible. With 4 weeks under my belt, I've reevaluated where my physique is at, and I feel like another push for about 4 weeks will really put me in a place where I'm happy with. All right, look, so can you lose weight faster? Yes, you definitely could accelerate this by having a bigger deficit, but you'd also be sacrificing muscle, and I want to retain as much muscle as possible while doing this. Again, like I said, I'm really stoked with the progress that we've made, right on track for where we are right now, and I also appreciate all of you who joined me for this challenge. I am going to continue putting out episodes as I continue this cut for around the next 4 weeks, so make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you see all of those episodes. As always, if you guys are looking to support the channel, you can do so by using my Vivo Life link. They have all the vegan supplements you could possibly want, from protein to multivitamins. And if you're looking to coach with a vegan bodybuilding coach who's actually walked the walk as well as talked the talk, you can send me a DM on Instagram at Brian Turner Official. You and me can chat about what I could do for you. And that is it, my beautiful friends and family. Thank you for checking in again, and I will see you all in the next episode.